This video is about how to brand self-published books. In particular, I will be focusing on branding of ebooks because they are the hardest to brand for a few reasons that I'll discuss briefly later on. I will cover how KDP's reflowable and easy flow styles affect the branding of ebooks. I will also show you techniques for researching what other authors are doing regarding branding so you can pick and choose the type of styles or branding you want to employ in your own books. So there's a lot to cover, so let's get going. Let's talk about uploading to KDP. Paperbacks and hardcover books are uploaded as PDFs, and PDFs are print-ready documents. That means the printer loads them up, and what you see is what you get. The only tricky place that can be a problem in a PDF upload is when you are dealing with odd and even pages and page breaks. If this is a problem you are having, I'll post a link to my KDP formatting playlist, and you can check out my videos where I go into setting up the spacing and doing the table of contents. I cover the odd and even pages there. Now let's focus on ebooks. KDP refers to ebooks as reflowable and easy flow. What that means is this: when you upload an ebook, your font and headline styles are uploaded and put onto an EPUB style sheet. The rest of your book is uploaded one heading and one paragraph at a time, and it is converted behind the scenes into an EPUB file which uses HTML and CSS coding. Then, when it is delivered to the customer, it is poured into their e-reader with the cover, the style sheet, default fonts and spacings, and one heading and paragraph at a time, one after the other. The reader can change the font styles, the sizes, and the colors. They can even change the color of the background. So you need to find a way to brand your ebooks around these limitations, and that's what we will focus on today. Even if you embed the fonts properly, uploading a DOC or a DOCX file will still default to a few common font options. So if you choose one of those, you'll be fine. I will go live next from the KDP platform and show you the difference between uploading a DOCX document and then an EPUB document. And that makes all the difference in the world. Okay, I am on the KDP platform, and I have uploaded a dummy document called Testing Fonts DOCX. Okay, it has uploaded successfully. This is just an old cover I had hanging around. And then I'm going to come down here and open the previewer and show you that although I did properly embed my fonts, it did not display them as they should be displayed. Okay, and they did the same thing to the chapter headers. I had used the Old English text as the chapter header, and as you can see, this is just, a very common plain font. So unfortunately, when you upload a document using Microsoft Word, it really ignores the fonts that you choose if you choose an odd font. There's probably about 10 of them that they allow you to have. So if you pick a common font, you'll be fine. But if you try to change the font to something unusual or not in the Microsoft family, it's not going to display when you upload the ebook as a Microsoft Docs file. However, when you upload the document as an EPUB, then it will display them, and I will show you that in a minute. Okay, now I have gone back and I have uploaded the same test document, but this time I converted it first to an EPUB document, and I have uploaded it. and let's take a look at it. Okay, and as you can see, it did allow the change in the fonts. Even the old English text font, okay, which is pretty fancy, and I'm sure it's not one of Microsoft's default fonts. So if you want to use branding for your chapter headers and things like that, you may need to familiarize yourself with working with an EPUB. I do have a video on YouTube showing you how to use a program called Sigil. I'm not going to go into any detail in this video. I'll just leave the link below. All right, so now that we know what our limitations are, let's focus on the things we can brand. Title pages, copyright pages, chapter headings and spacings around them, lines above or below the headings, drop caps versus initial word capitalization, scene ending marks, subtitles or meanwhile titles, and other page titles that you do not want to appear in the table of contents. But how and where do you look for ideas about the types of styles that are available? Where can you get ideas for branding from? I'm going live in a moment to show you, but I wanted to post the actual route that you can take to pull up the books and look at them on a laptop or desktop. Go to Amazon.com and choose your orders. Then choose the tab entitled Digital Orders. Then click on a book and click on Manage Content and Devices. Then click on the drop-down list and choose Read Now. You can also try read.amazon.com and it will put you right into your reader's library. However, if you have never logged into this area before, you may have to go and take the longer route that I just described. When you get there, this is a snapshot of how it will look. Your settings may display it a bit differently, but it will be similar to this. So now let's go and have a look at how to research and decide what to look at so you can put together your own custom style and branding. Okay, so now I am on Amazon.com in my digital book library, and I'm just going to flip through the initial pages of these books to show you what to look for when you're gathering ideas on how you want to brand your own books. Now, this is just Edgar Allan Poe, A Complete Tales and Poems. All right, and so the first page, of course, is the cover. And then you're going to look at the font choice, how they have it set up. Okay. How they do their table of contents. And then how the chapters begin. Okay. He uses one word that is solid caps. Now, a little bit about drop capping versus this new style of the initial caps. Because of the easy flow and all of the other technicalities about ebooks, I would be too fearful of what the computer code can do to a drop cap when the e-reader is choosing the font, the size, the style, and everything else. So I have switched from drop caps to this initial sentence capitalization because I think it's just a safer choice. So you can make up your mind which one you want to use. Okay, so most of the styling you're going to see in the initial pages of the book. You want to look at how they are indenting, how much space they are leaving for the reader's eyes to rest. Okay, so we've seen this one, so let's go to the next one. We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. Okay, and there is a publisher picture there. This is some other information. Now, you can ignore the highlighting. When I read, I highlight all the characters in case I forget somebody. Okay, and this is pretty much what you're going to do. You're just going to flip through real fast, looking for how they do the end of a scene, how they go into the next chapter, things like that. So let me go to the next one. All right, now this one here, let's go back to the front here. This one has a lot of stuff in it. Okay, my sword hand is singing. Okay, and let's see here. This one uses a lot of pictures. All right, dedication page. Okay, here's another one with a little bit of a quote. Here's another picture. Okay, that's part of the styling. And then it goes into the book. Okay, and this is how this author chooses to do their chapters. So let's go to the next one. This is East of Eden. Okay. All right, this one has chapter 1 and 1. Okay. And so I'm only going to show you one or two more, and then you have the roadmap on how to do this for yourself. Okay, here's the next one. The Time of the Hunter's Moon. This is by Victoria Holt. I love her books. Okay, and you want to just keep looking at how I think this author is now passed away, unfortunately. So you're just going to look at how these books are now published and how they go from scene to scene. Now here, they use just the common 3 asterisks to go from scene to scene. Okay, and the last book I'll show you is my own book. This is book 4 in this series, the Newport Vampire Stories. Okay, nothing fancy about that. Okay, I like to use these graphic headers. And in order to do this successfully, I needed to learn a little bit about using EPUBs and a program called Sigil. And that's how I was able to master putting in some, here's a little map, uh, the chapter headers. Okay, and again, I use the initial capitalization to start the chapter. And then I have these marks that I use in all of my books between the scenes. So I'm not going to do any more for you. There's plenty of different styles out there. As you begin to go through your library, you can look at what the other authors are doing. Another good idea is to go into the genre that you are or will be publishing in, buy their books, pull it up, and take a look at how they do their styling and all of the other bits and pieces that allow a certain amount of branding. If you're interested in learning how to create an EPUB from a DOCX file, check out my videos on YouTube. I will post the links to these two below this video. On the right is a panel of all of my books that are available to read on Amazon.com. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you learned anything, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.